If you're in your 50s or 60s, chances are you're just like millions of others, taking an extra vitamin every day, just to feel a little safer. A bit of fish oil for the heart, some vitamin D and calcium for strong bones, maybe a brain booster to stay sharp. It all sounds harmless, maybe even healthy. But did you know? Those very supplements, meant to protect your health, can quietly become your silent enemy, pushing you closer to a stroke, especially if taken the wrong way or in the wrong dose. I'm Dr. John. I'm 60 years old, and for nearly 30 years, I've worked with older adults all across the U.S. And here's what I've painfully learned. Far too many healthy people suffer a stroke, just because of something they thought was a safe little vitamin. Today, I'm not here to scare you. I just want you to take a few minutes, sit with me, and face the truth together. The vitamins you take each morning, are they really helping you stay healthy? Or could they slowly be doing more harm than good? This video might just change the way you see supplements forever. Hello there. If you're watching this video, chances are you're like so many people I've met over the years, just trying to do the right thing for your health. You wake up in the morning and take a few supplements. Maybe it's calcium, maybe a multivitamin, or maybe it's vitamin E, because you've heard it's good for the heart, for circulation, for memory. Sounds reasonable, doesn't it? I get it. I've worked with thousands of older adults over the past 30 years, and I've heard this story again and again. But today, I want you to pause, just for a moment, and listen with an open heart. Vitamin E, when taken in high doses, especially if you're on heart medications, can quietly turn into a traitor inside your body. Yes, you heard me right. I once treated a patient named Evelyn, 81 years old, from Ohio. She was thoughtful, smart, a retired librarian. She carried books wherever she went, always asked her doctors questions. She took care of herself. Her blood pressure was stable. Her heart was closely monitored. She was on warfarin, a blood thinner, prescribed properly. Then one day, she saw an ad in a magazine about natural vitamin E, and thought, why not? It's good for the brain. 800 IU a day. Just 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the ER with a severe headache, vomiting, and confusion. Her brain scan, it showed a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding in the brain. Not from high blood pressure, not from a fall, but because her blood had become so thin. It couldn't clot anymore from the combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E. Have you ever taken vitamin E without checking the dose? Have you ever thought, more is better? Let me tell you this. Older adults only need about 15 milligrams. That's around 22 IU a day. But most supplements out there, they contain 200, 400, even 1,000 IU in a single capsule. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you because I care. At our age, staying healthy isn't about what more you add. It's about what you truly understand. So please, always check with your doctor before adding anything new to your medicine cabinet. And if this video made you pause for a moment and think, then you're already on the right track. And you know what? It's not just vitamin E that can quietly put your health at risk. There's another mineral, one that so many people trust, especially when sleepless nights become more common after turning 60. Magnesium. I'm sure you've heard of it. Maybe someone once told you, just take magnesium, you'll sleep like a baby. Sounds harmless, right? Just a simple little pill. Just a natural mineral. But your body at 50, 60, or 70, it's not the same as when you were 30. I remember one of my patients, Uncle Henry, 68 years old, from Michigan. Because of his insomnia, he started taking magnesium every night. Not just any kind, the ultra-strength kind, 400 milligrams a dose. And guess what happened? Every morning, he'd wake up feeling dizzy, his head spinning, his legs wobbling. He said it felt like the floor was tilting beneath him. One morning, he lost his balance, fell, and hit his head on the corner of a cabinet. 6 stitches. What caused it? Not age, not Parkinson's, not a stroke. It was low blood pressure in the morning, because magnesium had dilated his blood vessels too much, especially dangerous when taken at night, without enough fluids or electrolytes. Have you ever stood up in the morning and felt lightheaded? Like your vision goes blurry for a second, then slowly comes back? That's not just aging. That's your body whispering, hey, something's off. Now listen, magnesium isn't bad. In fact, it's essential for your heart, for your muscles, for sleep. But the key is the right dose. Most older adults only need 200 to 300 milligrams a day, including what you get from food, leafy greens, nuts, beans, whole grains. Yet many people are taking 400 to 600 milligrams in just one pill every night, without realizing they've passed the safe limit. I'm not telling you this so you'll toss every bottle in the trash. I'm telling you this so you'll stop and take a closer look. You don't need to live in fear, but you also shouldn't live in the dark, because at this age, health isn't about pushing a little harder. It's about knowing yourself enough not to push in the wrong direction. When it comes to brain health or the nervous system, a lot of people immediately think of vitamin B6, the go-to ingredient in so many bottles labeled brain booster, memory support, or nerve health. And just like most vitamins, it wears a friendly disguise. It's just a vitamin. What's the worst it can do? But you know what? Sometimes, the things that hurt us the most are the very things we trusted the most. I once had a patient named Harold, a 76-year-old former truck driver from Kansas. He walked into my clinic with a confused look on his face. His hands and feet were tingling, at first like pins and needles. Then it turned into shaking, muscle weakness, and trouble keeping his balance when walking. At first, Harold thought it was just old age catching up. But one day, he fell in the bathroom, hit his head hard on the tile floor. He survived, thankfully, but from that day on, he had to walk with a cane. When I reviewed the list of supplements he was taking every day, the cause stood out clear as day. A so-called nerve support pill, 100 milligrams of vitamin B6 per capsule. He was taking 2 a day. That's 20 to 30 times the recommended daily limit for someone his age. What most people don't know is that vitamin B6 doesn't flush out of your body quickly. It builds up day by day, week by week, month by month. And over time, it can erode the protective coating around your nerves, kind of like the insulation around a wire breaking down. The signals get scrambled, and that's when you start feeling numbness, tingling, weakness, confusion. Have you ever stepped out of bed and your feet felt like they weren't there? Have you ever reached for the wall because the floor suddenly felt slanted? If so, don't just blame it on getting older. That little memory booster you're taking might quietly be stealing your balance and your confidence. Older adults only need about 2 to 10 milligrams of vitamin B6 per day, and most of it already comes from natural foods like bananas, grains, seeds. Yet many over-the-counter supplements contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams, without any warnings on the label. I'm not telling you Harold's story to scare you off vitamins. I'm telling it so you learn to listen to your body before you listen to some shiny label or catchy ad. You don't need to take everything under the sun to be healthy. Sometimes, the smartest step you can take is to cut back, just enough to keep your clarity, your strength, and your freedom to walk with confidence. You might be just like so many people I've met, waking up each morning, taking a fish oil pill as part of your heart-healthy routine. Omega-3 has been praised as a kind of modern miracle. Good for memory, fights inflammation, supports your vision, your heart. That's what the ads say. Even many doctors recommend it. But here's the truth. Not every dose is a safe dose. And not everyone knows that. One day, I met an elderly gentleman named Fred, 84 years old, living alone in Arizona. He was careful with everything. Clean diet, afternoon walks. And he strongly believed that high-dose omega-3 would help him live longer. Fred was taking 4 fish oil capsules a day. More than 3 grams of omega-3 daily. That's above the safe limit, especially for someone also taking aspirin. Do you know what happened? One morning, he woke up dizzy. His vision was blurry, and his hands were shaking. His family rushed him to the hospital. The diagnosis? A small brain bleed. A type of stroke where tiny blood vessels leak inside the brain. Not a full rupture, but enough to cause real damage. And the silent culprit? The combination of high-dose omega-3 and the blood thinners he'd been prescribed. You see, omega-3, even though it's a healthy fat, can thin your blood, making it harder for clots to form. This becomes dangerous if you're also taking warfarin, aspirin, Plavix, or similar medications. The moment you go beyond 3 grams a day, you're stepping into the danger zone. I'm not saying you should stop taking fish oil, but I am asking you to think twice before adding one more pill to your cabinet. Ask your doctor, is this dose right for me? Could it interact with any of the medications I'm already taking? Because what's good for someone else might not be what's right for you. And more importantly, living longer isn't just about staying alive. It's about living well, with a clear mind, steady steps, and peaceful blood flow through every vessel in your body. Are you taking a multivitamin every morning? I'm guessing, probably yes. Many of my older friends do the same. It's convenient, right? Just one pill, all your nutrients. Sounds logical. But do you know what I often see in my clinic? A surprising number of patients come in with strange symptoms: fatigue without reason, tingling hands, insomnia, racing heartbeat, dizziness. And when I ask about the supplements they're taking, they usually look surprised. Just a multivitamin, doc. Well, plus an extra vitamin D pill, and B6 for my nerves, and some vitamin E for my heart too. I thought the more the better. But no, your body isn't a bottomless bucket. You can just pour endless vitamins into. Fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K don't flush out easily. They build up in your liver over time. Take them day after day, month after month, and by the time symptoms appear, the damage may already be done. I remember a patient named Susan, 72 years old. She took a multivitamin every morning, plus 2,000 IU of vitamin D, a separate B6 pill, and a fish oil capsule that also contained vitamin E. No one told her that these pills overlapped. Soon, she began feeling dizzy, struggled to sleep, and even collapsed one night when getting out of bed. Tests revealed her vitamin D levels were 3 times higher than the safe limit. Her B6 was excessive, and her calcium levels had also started to rise unnaturally. I'm not telling you this to scare you, but to help you stay alert and informed. Multivitamins aren't bad, but if you're also taking individual vitamins on top, read those labels carefully. Write down everything you're taking. Then ask your doctor, are any of these overlapping or unnecessary? Could any of these interact with each other or with my medications? Do I really need all of these? Because when it comes to your health, sometimes less is better, and what you might truly need each morning isn't another pill, but a better understanding of your own body. Niacin, or vitamin B3. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's often advertised as a cholesterol savior. They say it cleans your blood, lowers fats, protects your heart. Sounds promising. But there's one thing they don't often tell you. Used the wrong way, niacin can be a double-edged sword, especially if you're over 60. I still remember an old patient of mine, Mr. Walter, 82 years old. He used to be a math teacher, smart, cautious, and very health conscious. When he heard that niacin helps lower cholesterol, he bought himself high-dose pills, 2,000 milligrams per day. And then, one afternoon, while reading the newspaper, he suddenly felt his face flush with heat, his mind spinning, his speech slurred. Within minutes, he couldn't even recognize his wife's face. He had a minor stroke, a TIA. It passed quickly, but it scared his entire family half to death. What caused it? Niacin, at high doses, causes blood vessels to widen, then suddenly snap back. In younger people, that may just mean a red face. But for someone over 60, especially with heart disease or high blood pressure, that's a dangerous game. Older blood vessels aren't flexible like they used to be. That sudden expand-contract action can trigger spikes in blood pressure, pounding heartbeats, headaches, even strokes. Have you ever felt your heart racing strangely after taking a supplement? Or gotten dizzy when standing up? That might not be your illness. It might be your vitamin. Here's my advice. If you're over 60, don't take more than 50 milligrams of niacin per day, unless your doctor clearly tells you to. And if you're taking blood pressure meds, heart meds, or aspirin, check carefully. Just because it's called a vitamin doesn't mean it's harmless. Remember, knowledge is the best medicine. And sometimes, what your body really needs isn't more pills, but more awareness. A moment each day to listen, truly listen, to how your body feels. Vitamin A. When you hear that, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Most people say, eyes. We've all heard it. TV commercials, magazines, even doctors say, want sharp vision? Take vitamin A. But let me show you the side no one talks about. Vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means, unlike vitamin C, which your body flushes out through sweat and urine, vitamin A stays. Day after day, month after month, it builds up quietly, until one day, it becomes a burden. Not for your eyes, but for your brain. I once treated a piano teacher, Ms. Linda, 79 years old. She was graceful, always smiling, and adored by her little students. She took 10,000 IU of vitamin A daily, for nearly 5 years. She believed it kept her vision sharp, her fingers steady on the keys. But slowly, things changed. She started noticing blurred vision, frequent nausea, dizziness. One day, while teaching, her speech slurred out of nowhere. At first, everyone thought she had a mild stroke. But after an MRI and deeper testing, it wasn't a stroke. It was intracranial hypertension, what we call pseudotumor cerebri. No real tumor, just the pressure inside her skull rising dangerously. All because of vitamin A buildup. I know what you're thinking. It's just vitamin A. Can it really be that serious? I used to think the same, until I saw patients like Linda. Let me ask you this. Do you take multivitamins daily? Have you ever added up your total vitamin A intake? All it takes is going above 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, especially in older adults. And the risk begins. The truth is, after 60, your eyes don't need huge doses of vitamin A to stay healthy. What they really need is rest, gentle lighting, and maybe more conversations that light up your spirit. Because health isn't always about adding more. Sometimes, the very thing you think is good for your eyes might be the one quietly harming your brain. You know, after 60, a lot of people start to notice little things slipping. You walk into the kitchen, open the fridge, and suddenly can't remember why you came in. It's normal. Our brains, like old engines, slow down a little with time. And so, we begin searching for ways to boost memory and stay sharp. These days, you'll find hundreds of supplements on the market, all claiming to enhance focus, fight memory loss, keep your brain young. I've seen the ads myself. A silver-haired man like me, thoughtful eyes, holding a bottle of pills. Looks convincing, right? But my friend, don't let beautiful packaging fool you. One of the biggest dangers today is brain supplements with no proper testing, no FDA approval, no trusted certifications. Let me tell you a story. I had a patient, Harold, 74 years old, a retired Marine, strong, sharp, alert. He started taking one of those brain pills, heavily advertised online. 3 weeks in, he came to me, looking worried. His heart was acting strange. Some days it pounded like a drum. Other times, it skipped beats entirely. Diagnosis: heart arrhythmia. When we tested the pills, they contained high doses of huperzine A, along with a mystery stimulant not even listed on the label. No regulations, no warnings, just clever marketing. And sadly, there are countless pills out there like this, hidden under safe-sounding names like dietary supplement. Now, I'm not against supplements, but if you're going to take something, make sure it's tested, doctor-approved, and backed by real science. And more importantly, remember this: your brain doesn't just live on pills. It lives on love, on conversations, on curiosity, and connection. So ask yourself, instead of a pill to help me remember more, when was the last time I truly sat down and talked, heart to heart, with someone I love? You know, at a certain age, almost everyone starts hearing the word osteoporosis. We feel our bones getting weaker. The back starts to hunch. We walk a little slower. And then the falls come. Not just painful, but scary. What if next time it's a broken bone? So, many people, maybe even you, start taking calcium pills every single day. like a ritual. But have you ever asked yourself, am I really helping my bones or quietly hurting my blood vessels? Let me tell you a story. I had a patient, 67 years old, healthy, active, loved morning walks. Every day, she took calcium with vitamin D, just like the internet suggested. No blood tests, no doctor's guidance, just habit. 3 years later, during a routine carotid scan, her cardiologist found severe calcification in her arteries. You see, calcium doesn't just go to your bones. If you don't have enough vitamin K2, if you take too much, or take it at the wrong time, that calcium can settle inside your arteries. It stiffens them, clogs them, and increases your risk of a stroke. A major study in the U.S. confirmed this. People who took over 1,000 milligrams of calcium per day without medical supervision had a much higher stroke risk compared to those who got their calcium from natural foods, like leafy greens, fish, and seeds. Now listen, I'm not saying you should stop calcium completely. I just want you to understand, no supplement should be taken blindly, because sometimes the thing we believe is preventing illness might be causing it if used the wrong way. So let me ask you, are you taking calcium daily? If yes, have you ever asked your doctor, is this dose right for me? And if you've never checked your blood vessels, maybe today is the day to start, because good health isn't just about what you take. It's about what you truly understand. You know, there's one vitamin that almost everyone thinks is harmless. In fact, most people believe, the more, the better. That vitamin is vitamin D. We link it to strong bones, sunny mornings, and staying healthy as we age. But did you know? If taken in the wrong dose or at the wrong time, vitamin D can silently turn against you. I remember this story vividly. There was a 74-year-old man living alone in Florida. A kind man, independent. He heard from a friend that taking vitamin D daily would keep his bones strong. So he started taking 10,000 IU every morning, every single day. He thought, I'm just looking after my bones. What could go wrong? Then one night, without warning, he had a stroke. No signs, no symptoms, just sudden. Doctors ran blood tests. His vitamin D levels, toxic. It had caused his calcium levels to skyrocket, leading to hardened arteries, blood pressure swings, and ultimately, a clot to the brain. Now I don't tell you this to scare you. I share it so you truly understand what vitamin D is. It's a fat-soluble vitamin. That means your body stores it, not flushes it out like vitamin C or B. And if you're also taking calcium, or on heart medications, or never getting blood work done, your risk climbs even higher. So what's the most important thing? It's not should I take it or not. It's, am I taking it the right way? Backhand index pointing right, always take vitamin D in the morning. It supports your natural body rhythm. Backhand index pointing right. And if you're taking more than 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day, get a blood test every 3 to 6 months. I'm not saying this as a doctor. I'm saying this as someone walking beside you, who understands the quiet worries that come with getting older. Listen to your body, because no supplement in the world is more powerful than the right knowledge. You see, not everything we call a supplement is actually helping us. Sometimes, the very vitamin you trust could be quietly pushing you toward danger. No flashy symptoms, no warning signs. I'm not here to tell you to stop taking everything. I just hope you start asking better questions. What am I taking every day? Am I watching my dosage? Is anyone monitoring my health? Because at our age, feeling fine isn't enough. We need to understand what's happening inside. If this video spoke to you, please share it with your parents, your grandparents, or anyone you care about. Don't let the wrong vitamin, taken the wrong way, be the last thing they swallow before a stroke. And don't forget to subscribe, because every week I'll be sharing real, science-backed tips on senior health. Simple, practical, and possibly life-saving. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Wishing you and your loved ones a life that's truly healthy, sharp, and safe.